surgery for my cataracts.
Exactly. At some point, you'll probably need cataract surgery, particularly for the other reason, which is what I called about, which is what we talked about last time when you were here on Friday. But I don't, like I said, it's something that's very, that's what we do is cataract surgery to fix that.
Okay. And I need new glasses or glasses that will take care of my sight. I mean, the last pair of glasses, it cost me $700 and it was awful.
New glasses, you said?
Yeah, I need new glasses.
And that's something that I can do for you too, but I think what I would recommend first is that we kind of take care of all this other stuff going on, which is the procedures and making sure that the left eye is okay with the flashes.
Okay.
How have the flashes been? Have they been better or
it got better and then it started coming on again.
Okay.
So.
No new floaters or anything?
No.
Okay.
No new floaters.
And then I think I saw you're scheduled to see me on Friday.
Yes.
At 12:30.
Yes.
So we'll plan to do the laser procedure then. And I'll talk to you then when you come about, how that works and the risks and the benefits and things like that. And if it all sounds like it's something we want to go through with, then we can do it that afternoon.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Something that I really need to do.
Say it again?
It's something that I really need to do.
Well, so that's what I think, and we can even talk about it over the phone too. It's not something that's 100%. Everything has
everything's risk, yeah.
Right. I think the reason, as we talked about on Friday, of the reason to do it would be that you have that kind of that shape or that space in the front of the eye, which is quite sort of narrowed in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Puts you at risk of basically of the pressure going up in the eye, which can happen sort of suddenly, which we talked about would be potentially kind of those painful episodes where the eye gets really painful and red, or over time it can cause basically the kind of the pressure to be high, and which is essentially glaucoma, where the damage happens over time to the eye. Yeah. So that the laser is really to kind of help limit the risk of those things happening, particularly because we were doing dilated exams on you to check the flashes and to be able to look in the back of the eye.
And the laser surgery, is that kind of robotic?
Actually, that's something we do here in the office. So when you came to, that you'll be here on Friday. Basically, we use the same kind of microscope that it's just one of the same microscopes that we sit in, and then it's basically just a laser that kind of put some energy in, and makes a little spot in the colored part of the eye that kind of bypasses that problem. It's not anything like we don't make any incisions into the eye or anything like that.
A long time ago when I was in my 20s, I had something happen.
Yeah.
And I had to have an injection in my eye, and it was awful. But I can't remember what it was, but I remember getting an injection in my eye, and I just thought, oh my gosh. But this was in 1970s.
Yeah.
And he said that it was something from my autoimmune disease. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I don't know what it was, it was...
Yeah.
Scary, and I didn't pay any attention, and I was going through police academy, and I just wanted to focus on that and being healthy. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. So I'd say I think if it's something that it sounds like that you would want to go ahead with.
Yeah.
We can plan for it. I'm also happy to call you again, and we can talk about more just the reasons to either do it or not do it over the phone, and we can decide.
Okay. And what's the procedure called, so I can look it up and...
Yeah, so it's called a laser. The first word's laser. And the second word is peripheral. And the third word is iridotomy. So
Iridotomy, like the iris.
Yep. And it's something that it's a very common procedure. And again, we can sort of talk through the risks of the procedure whenever you'd like. But again, the reason to do it would be to kind of try to limit the risk of developing issues related to glaucoma, and to allow for kind of future dilated exams in a sort of lower risk setting than what we did on Friday, which is we dilated even though there's sort of that higher chance for you of the pressure issue happening.
Now, I did have some eye pain, but it kept coming and going.
Okay.
And so I figured it was just from being prodded.
Was it that day, or you mean you're still having that?
That night. And,
oh, yeah, that's okay.
And a little bit today, but it's not anything I would even treat, you know, like it's not something like, oh, I need some pain meds or something.
Yeah, I think if it's, I think it would be something that you would sort of know, and I think you sort of have a sense that it wouldn't be necessarily just, it tends to be a more kind of pronounced pain than if it were one of those episodes that I was telling you about.
Okay. Yeah, it was just kind of like I could feel that I had something done to my eye.
Yeah.
So if I was your mom, would you recommend having this surgery?
I think I would tell her the same things that I would tell you, which is that I think there's reasonable. Let's see. I think there's several sort of reasonable reasons, so to speak, to do it. And I think the risks tend to be, they're there, but they tend to be sort of manageable and not and pretty infrequent. That I think it would be something that would be reasonable to do, but it would also be potentially reasonable to not do it as well.
Okay.
And I think it sort of just depends on your tolerance for, doing a minor procedure like that versus really some people say, look, I don't want to do anything like that, and I don't want any procedures done, and I'd rather just, sort of keep an eye on things, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I have those spinal injections, those knee injections, shoulder injections.
Yeah.
And I used to take a Xanax before that, and then I don't like Xanax. It makes me feel, and it gives me muscle pain, believe it or not. That's weird.
Yeah.
So I thought, I took that for nothing. And then I was stupid, and then I can't play piano for 3 or 4 days.
I really like your voicemail, by the way.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up in my music. It gives me a good...
Awesome.
Yeah, my husband bought me a 6-foot Boston Steinway.
Oh yeah, I think you told me that.
And it's got a player system. He had toys added to it, so it can record anything that I play or what anybody plays. And it can,
that's awesome.
and it can play anything that some concert pianist has played. So that's always fun. So
that's super cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. My dearest friend died of anaphylactic shock.
Oh.
Latex, 2 years ago. So my husband got me the piano to help me focus on, positive things. So that was just, and then her husband just died 2 months ago. So they were early 70s.
Sorry. Yeah.
I hate getting old. Well, thank you so much. And
no problem. I think there are a couple options. If you wanted to even just come to the appointment on Friday, and we can even just talk about it more, obviously, which we will do.
Yeah.
Or whatever you prefer, and we can always talk more on the phone too if you have other questions or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think in any case, regardless, I would want to see you back within independent of this one on Friday, I think, like I told you before, doing another exam in about a month for that left eye.
Yeah,
there's some.
Yeah, there's something going on with more flashes today, and the flashes weren't very much, not very pronounced like they have been, but that means something is going on.
Exactly. So that's why I want to take another look, at least regardless for that standpoint. But we can talk more on Friday about the procedure and whether or not it makes sense.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night, okay? It was good to speak with you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.